Hey, and welcome to this video, my dear. My name is Nina, and today I have another speed build for you. It's a bit of a shorter one compared to the last ones, but today we are tackling a back-facing beach, and we will be implementing the first housing plot on this island. So after my two starters, this is the first housing plot that we're going to place down on this island. It's probably also going to be the last one, because as some of you may know, I do not have my resident services upgraded, so we have a limited amount of villagers. If you're interested in how to do that, I have a tutorial that's linked underneath of all the videos regarding this island. But without further babbling on, I think let's just flop right into it, shall we? So starting out, I will do a little bit of terraforming because I had to decide on how wide I wanted this area to be, because we are going to be pathing up quite the chunk of area with some sand pathing to make this fake little beach that's facing the back of the island, because I love the view that you get of the ocean. And while I do that, I thought I could just say hi to you. How are you doing today, my love? I hope you had a lovely weekend and a good start to the week yesterday. Jesus Christ, we're starting off strong today. But yeah, really excited for this build. It's a bit of a chill one, you know, it's not too elaborate, I'd say. It's kind of chill. I just spent the entire day yesterday kind of building this, and I'm really happy how it turned out though, because I did go on a little villager hunt for this, because I know that I wanted a villager house to be incorporated. If some of you were to some of my last streams, I've said that I found Flurry on a villager hunt by accident, but her house didn't really fit the vibe that I wanted for this island, so I went on another villager hunt, and the first villager that I stumbled upon on that hunt was Hornsby, which was so freaking perfect, because he has a Japanese style house which fits this kind of Japanese suburban island, and it's also blue, so it also fits the color scheme perfectly, and it also does look kind of like a beach hut. Like, it looks like something that could exist on a beach, which I really appreciate, because it made this very easy. And I also love Hornsby, and I've never had him on an island, so he is very welcome here. Let's all welcome Hornsby. Welcome, Hornsby. So yeah, but I'm still terraforming, as you can see. I'm creating this little bay U-shaped kind of thing here, but we will be building some more cliff up, I think, in the end. I'm not sure. It was a bit fidgety because I wanted it to look like the beach would continue on each side a bit more than it actually did. So it was a bit tricky because I had this huge build to the right here that I couldn't really change too much because it would impact the view too much. I will pop a little card up right now so that you can check out that build if you haven't done so already and would like to, you know. Gotta keep it accessible. No idea what I'm going on about. Back to the build. Still terraforming. I'm rounding off the cliffs, and soon I will be starting to path up the area. There we go. With the path, the sand path, I would usually go for the in-game, you know, the light dirt, the dirt path. But I felt like for this one, I actually wanted the real sand path, because it has these nice little waves and it does feel like it's a bit lighter in color. So I felt like it fit this beachy vibe a lot better, because I wanted it to feel like kind of like dunes, even though on top of the cliff we're not going to implement any kind of pathing, because I didn't want to destroy the wheats that we already had. So I created this straight line to the front here to block it off and make it look like, you know, that's where humans decided to end the beach. So give it like a little border, which we're going to do in just a second. We will have a little tile along the border there so that it looks like, you know, you would step down into the sand, as it is on most beaches that I've been to that aren't like too natural. Like most touristy or fishing harbory beaches do have that kind of border, at least in my mind. So that's what we're going to go for. Thank you very much, my love. And then I created these like fake beach rock thingies, which I really like. I am going to put that code up on, you know, the website where I have all the codes. I'm going to add that probably tomorrow or tonight, as you know, when you're seeing this a couple of hours later, or tomorrow, because I have physio after I upload this video, so I might not get a chance to do that, but I will do that in just a second. And after you know, pathing up the road and stuff, it was already time to talk to Mr. Nook, our favorite little raccoon. So he told us that we needed to build a bridge first, which I completely forgot about. So I had to go in a little crafting session, and I marathoned a couple of log stakes, and then I crafted the bridge construction kit. And then I just expanded the cliff because I was like, okay, well, might just as well implement it in this build. At least it's kind of like, it's in front of the build. It's not really implemented, but I wanted it to place, to be here still, because I have no idea what I want to do in the last 2 areas that we have on the island, because this island is already close to being finished. Already, I refer to this as my new island, and it's already almost done again. How? I feel like we only have like 2 or 3 more builds left, and then it's going to be completed, and I have no idea what I want to do afterwards. So please drop your theme suggestions, whatever you would like me to do, any aesthetics, any vibes that you would like to see, please drop them below so that I can, you know, have a ponder over them and maybe come up with a cool theme for us to work on next. So yeah, but I did some fidgeting with this, and I didn't want it to go over too far to the right to the bridge, because I'm not sure how exactly I want the path to go. So I wanted there to be a bit more freedom for me to play with, you know, once I figure out what I want to do in front of this build. So I placed it fairly close to the actual road, but it's still comfortable to walk through it. Like, it's still an easy angle to make it accessible. So I decided to have it there. And then it was time to grab my housing plots, grab them. And then I had to once again go on another marathon of crafting, but before that I had to actually pick them up and my pockets were full. So please excuse the suit of lights that I am wearing here. Stunning, I know, wonderful, absolutely ghastly if you ask me, but oh well, what can you do? Nothing. And then it was time for me to place down the housing plot. Now, I did not know this a couple of weeks and days ago, but the housing plots, like the number of the housing plot, is tied to a personality type that's going to move onto your island. So I placed down the first housing plot because Hornsby is a lazy, and in housing plot number 4 you will always have the lazy move into. So I placed that down first. I think the second one would be the normal and then the peppy, but I could be wrong. It could also be the other way around, probably, because yeah, well, but yeah, I will pop up a little text for me to add in post, you know, after I research it, so that none of you lovelies will make a mistake and everyone can place the housing plots in order. But I placed down Hornsby's, and then I created this little pier thingy to leading up to his house, and I removed the sand pathing that was in this weird little corner. I was initially going to make it look like it's just a little deck, you know, dock thingy that's on top of the sand in general, but it looked kind of awkward in that corner because of all the cliffs surrounding it, and I wanted the cliffs to have like a natural dynamic shape. So I removed it, and we're gonna have some, you know, foliage in there towards the end. So I think that's also just a nice way to tie it in, because we will have a bunch of like green foliage in front of this build on top of the cliff that we terraformed up. So I think it does look kind of cute, and I created this little fake building to the right here just to work with the cliff that we already had, because it was a bit of an awkward shape due to my previous build. So I decided to do this building, and I think it does kind of work quite well, and it does take up quite some space, which I love. It gives some height, it does everything, it does it all, everything that you might want to have, you know, loves it. And then we're on to the items already. So I didn't really have a theme for his house. I just wanted to, you know, stick to his color scheme, go with the blue and the browns, and make it look like slightly, you know, not industrial, but this is right behind the little neighborhood that I wanted to be like more industrial looking. So where you would maybe have some factories and stuff. So that's exactly what I wanted to do. So I gave him some barrels and some oil barrels, and we will also later be throwing in a, what is it called? Construction scaffolding or something like that, a scaffolding. So that's what we're going to do later. That's what we're going to do. Also, tons of M's and R's and pondering again today, because again, not too much time to edit. These past few days and weeks have just been absolutely stressful because I have, you know, the 2 appointments of physio each week, which does take up a lot of time. And then I stream 4 times a week, which I love, and I don't want to scale that down because I just adore streaming so much, and also the videos. So you will just have to keep up with and put up with my, you know, rambly self. But you seem to enjoy it in the last video, because that video actually had like quite the good amount of watch time. So thank you for that, my lovelies. I always appreciate the feedback. So yeah, back to the video. You don't care about my YouTube analytics, do you? But yeah, I wanted to have some rocks. Now this does look a little bit awkward, but that's the best that I could do. So I just used some flat garden rocks, some garden rocks. I'm later gonna remove the tall garden rock that I have, you know, the darker one, and I'm gonna replace it with I think it's called a pond stone or something like that, because it does look like those little paddles that there you can see me implemented the pond stone, because it does look like these kind of paddles that you sometimes get on top of the beach rocks as well in this game. So I felt like that kind of looked quite nice, and it wasn't as off with the color. I mean, it's still a lot lighter, but what can you do? Nothing, my love, nothing. But here we are already detailing up the area until, you know, we are finally done with it, and we can move on to the foliage part. So we're just sprinkling some stuff in. I also thought that the vaulting pole looked kind of cute, so I put that behind the little stone. I don't know why, it just kind of looked like it could fit a beach, because, you know, those little marking stick thingies that you sometimes get that mark out the tides and stuff. I'm not even sure if that's what they are there for, but they are here for the tides on my eyes. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, lovely. We have a lovely car cheering us on in front of my home, which we love. We love that. But yeah, just some more details, and I just really like how this turned out, even though it is such a simple build. So you know, there's not too many items, but it was a very calming build to work on, very cozy feeling, because it was just so much terraforming and waterscaping and pathing, and those are honestly my favorite parts of this game, because they feel so therapeutic, because you can just like create these nice shapes and make it all look natural and flow together. And that's just honestly what I enjoy most about this game. Jesus, can I please? You would think that as I, you know, create more videos, that my language will get a bit better, and that I, you know, would not stumble upon my words as often, but I feel like it just keeps getting worse, and I feel like I keep saying that in every single video. Oh well, love, oh well. But yeah, we're onto the waterscaping. I do really like this waterfall. I'm not usually a fan of any waterfall that's like wider than 2 tiles, but for this build I felt like it did work, and I feel like with backwards facing waterfalls, the kind of wider waterfalls do work quite well, because I don't know, they just open up the space, because they got rid of a bit of cliff that, you know, would usually block off the view slightly. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope that you get what I mean. So I do really think that it looked quite cute, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And then I just terraformed up this little blob of land towards the back, just to complete off the area, and we're just going to fill everything in with trees and shrubs and flowers, and a ton of wheat fields, a ton of the green wheat fields, the dark green wheat fields, which I just thought tied in very well with the in-game weeds and all the shrubs and everything. It just looked really nice. I do fidget with them quite a bit, because I felt like in the beginning, the wheat fields that I placed down first, I'm actually going to take them down, because I wanted the wheat fields to kind of open up towards the beach. So we're just gonna have them towards the side, you know, in the final version of this build. So you will see me playing around with them quite a bit, but I did cut a lot of it out, because it was just so fidgety and very repetitive, and you know, you don't have to sit through that, me just placing down wheat fields. And then I also wanted to implement these windmills, and I did check the view quite often, because I wasn't really sure how I wanted them to look and where I wanted them to be, because it looked kind of awkward and it wasn't too much space, because I implemented so many trees. But in the end, I feel like it did work quite well, and it was a nice little way to transition into this area because we also placed one kind of facing the road that you can actually see from the road, which I really liked, like the road leading up to this build. So that's a really nice touch. And then I also sprinkled in some more wheat fields down here, you know, to tie everything together, make it look kind of finished, and just like an area that could, you know, work together in real life. And I feel like you get these like tall seagrass kind of thingies towards the beach. So that's what we did. And then it was just me filling in the last remaining cliffs. And we are already approaching the end of this video, my love. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for, you know, watching. If you're still watching, I appreciate it so much. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like if you liked it. And just subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, my love. We'd love to have you here. We'd love to join you. We'd love to join you. We'd love you to join us. I mean, we'd also love to join you, but what can I say? Anyways, I will be live on Twitch tomorrow, and on Thursday we will be live here over on YouTube. So if you'd like to hang out, 5 p.m. CEST for both of those streams. If not, I will see you again for Friday's build if you'd like to check it out. And yeah, I'm going to leave you now, my love, with a montage of this finished beach area. And yeah, take care of yourself, my dear. Until next time, and bye-bye.